and lower the cost of diesel for our truck drivers?
Awesome. Yeah, for real.
Yeah, that was definitely the same guy. I just basically didn't take his call. I know his voice, and I can tell you, I was trying to pull him out like with a real question, but he doesn't have a question. He's just a racist, the guy is. That's all he is.
Who's that guy?
We don't know. We think it's James Anderson. We're not sure. Unlike the two parties, we want to end the Federal Reserve. We want to retire their charter and bring our troops home. And ironically, ending the Federal Reserve is part of our plan to bring our troops home, because all wars are bankers' wars. And the reason why we're overseas is because the Federal Reserve is inextricably tied to the World Bank and the IMF. Hang on just a second, Shrek. Go ahead.
Bringing them home for
the holidays.
H0me, that false flag that's going on.
Well, we're not going to bring them. I'm a protectionist, by the way, not an isolationist. But we're not going to bring them home for H0me. We're going to bring them home for border control. We want them to come home to defend our border, which is a critical solution to the problems that we're facing right now with the Border Patrol being bought off.
I'm talking about that's what our corrupt government is doing right now. Is they're bringing the troops home, but they're bringing them home for H0me.
Yeah,
that shouldn't even be happening.
Exactly. So this concept of
James Anderson, I have a question.
Yeah, right. This concept of brand new renewable energy solutions is specific to our party, and you can't find this stuff on the Democratic's platform or the Republican platform. You won't see ending war at the Democratic site. You won't see a pro-legalization plan at the Democratic or the Republican site. And you won't see a plan to end the Federal Reserve at either site. So you've already seen, right here alone, you see all the reasons to vote third party. But then add to that all the work I'm going to do to stop GMOs and Monsanto, not to mention end the fluoridation of our water system, which is lowering the IQ of our population.
And the seawater pipeline. Come on, David.
The seawater pipeline, let's not forget that.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, David, I'm going to let you take phone calls from other people now. It sounds like
all right.
Got some legitimate people coming in.
All right, thank you very much. Take care, man. That's Shrek. That was a good call from Shrek.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember Dr. Strangelove lost the cosmos when he said, Mandrake, have you ever been a POW, Mandrake? No, sir, I haven't. You wouldn't know about this precious bodily fluids, Mandrake, and how important it is to protect your precious bodily fluids. They're all being contaminated with fluoride, Mandrake. Remember that? Oh, Legal Whip Act. How's it going, man? Legal Whip Act, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up? How's everything?
Well, it could be better, but you know, I'm not complaining. I live a pretty good life on under $5 a day, so.
That's good. That's good. I'm trying to do the same actually, because
cool.
The food is so expensive nowadays.
It is, even if you have, you know, like some sort of a food stamp supply. I don't have food stamps, so, but even then, I see a lot of people shopping with food stamps in our country. That's pretty interesting. But make the most of your money, folks. Go ahead.
I grew up in the early 90s where it was actually, you would feel a little bit of shame to pay things with food stamps.
Oh, it was
not happening anymore.
No, there's no shame in people buying things with food stamps anymore. Yep.
Yeah.
It's kind of an ongoing problem.
Also, you know, businessman, he mentioned, you know, since he knows about business, did you know that if you open an LLC or if you buy an LLC, the government gives you 3 years to file taxes and to consider yourself as a no-gainer, like you made no gains. But after the 3 years, then they charge you a whole lump sum of money. But the government, when they do a project, like they're doing this stupid train thing in California right now, and it's not doing any money, it's not doing any good, they fund it until they go broke.
Yeah, the government continues to fund things. The government cannot downsize. That's the truth. Actually, that's another truth we could bring up. The government has no mechanism to downsize and to check themselves. There's no checks and balances left in our country. They continue to offer contracts to big corporations. And like I was saying, even Morgan Stanley making all that money on the food stamps, they're not going to stop the food stamp program. Checky, checky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've been living on a. You've been doing okay in America since your family moved here. Is everyone fairly satisfied, or are they concerned about their livelihood?
No, I guess we're used to it already. We basically Americanized ourselves. We don't have nowhere to go, as they say. We burned the boats.
Okay. Well, you're here now. You're Americans. Welcome. Great.
So there's no other place to go. I mean, we're pretty much American. I cannot go back to Central America.
No. No, you can't.
There's nothing over there.
No, you're right. There's nothing back there that would be beneficial. The food bank shelves are getting empty now, according to Guest 219. Wow. I don't know why they're talking about the royal baby, to keep our mind off the royal poverty that's happening amidst the royal family. I mean, there's people out there suffering in England, and they continue to talk about the royals as though it's some illustrious diversion tactic. Okay, good.
Because there's the kings and queens there. They're the ones that, everything. I believe that everything that's happening to us right now has something to do linking to England and the way their lifestyle is. Because remember, the kings would have all the food, all the money, all the luxuries, while the people were out there starving.
Right. There's a lot of people that are talking about the fact that our country has now turned a blind eye to all of our opportunity, and how the government doesn't really care about the common man getting education. We are looking at favoritism at all levels. My biggest problem is I don't think affirmative action is being fair to anyone who's not a minority, but I understand the perspective of minorities. They want to make sure they have an education. Like the DREAM Act in California can give illegal aliens a full education. But without taking care of American citizens, even white American citizens, we're just dropping the ball left and right. And I want to make sure we can resolve this. I want to double size the Pell Grants to make sure that people have.
To add this caller to your current.
Okay, we got Bingo on the phone. Go ahead. What's your question, Bingo? Okay.
Make a fence for the borders. This country has to think that way right now.
Yeah.
It's the perfect time, because we're losing the resources. I mean, illegals are actually going back to the majority of them, of course, because they're Mexican. They're going back to Mexico, and that's the truth.
They are. Yeah, you're right. Now, here's a person whose family came from Central America originally, and he's concerned about building a fence along the border. I agree. Bingo.
Yeah, they're going back to Mexico. I see them all the time. They're like, man, I'd rather be in Mexico and do a hard job and deal with all this stuff. They go back because they see it. They see how this country's changing.
Right. Hillary is the head of the snake right now, and we're going to have to go after the head of the snake, which is Hillary, and all the lies she has. The Common Core education system is a complete disaster for a lot of Americans, and the worst part about the Common Core education system is that it goes after the teachers and punishes them for the problems with the students.
They're going after the people that are actually helping the future of our country, which is the teachers, the farmers, because a farmer can teach you how to be self-sufficient.
Yeah, I agree.
A teacher can teach you how to, get educated and learn your basics, math, reading, everything that you need to do when you're educated. And they're going after them. They're attacking them. And did you hear what Bill Gates said on the interview?
No, what?
Bill Gates got interviewed about what we should focus on this country. He said, we need to focus on teachers. We need to start focusing on high schools. And who controls the high schools?
Is actually making it more expensive, and the administration costs is really what's sucking all those tax dollars into a void.